Hello fellow cinephiles, today I'm reviewing Colette. Now this was a film that was directed by Wash Westmoreland. It stars Keira Knightley, Dominic West and Fiona Shaw. And it is the story of Colette, played by Keira Knightley. And it looks at her life in a small French town. And it's ultimately how she marries an older man and he whisks her off to Paris, where she feels a bit uncomfortable and is trying to work out her place within that. He's a known sort of writer and artistic sort of expressionist around in the time, in the late 1800s, and it really looks at how he pushes Colette to write some novels, which she does, and he ultimately publishes them under his own name without her having her name attached at all. And they become a huge success. The books involve Claudette, a particular character, promiscuous sort of character, female character within that particular world, and it really takes off. But she feels uncomfortable with the fact she's not able to put her name on it. And it looks at the trials and tribulations that she goes through with this and her relationship with her husband that isn't ideal. And he's a bit arrogant and self-absorbed, and it's really about him, and he sort of takes advantage of her skill and her ability with writing in order to earn some money and become successful and become the toast of Paris, as they say. But along the journey, Colette really becomes who she is, and she learns. She's a real arc for her. She starts as a timid young girl who becomes a powerful and strong and very creative woman who ultimately learns to become who she is. She starts a relationship with a transgender character and is really drawn to her, and they start this really powerful romance that lasts most of their lives. And it looks at how the success of these books keeps getting stronger and stronger, but because of her husband, who she's married to, he keeps spending all the money, played by Dominic West, and he's a gambler and he just isn't able to keep the money and he keeps losing everything. And it's really about her trying to keep everything afloat. But ultimately she learns to become who she is and step away from this particular world, start to enjoy herself. She becomes part of a theatre company. Her romance with her transgender partner gets stronger, and it looks at how ultimately she started to write her own books and became the most successful writer of the time in Paris. Was involved in a number of plays, but also wrote 30 books throughout her career. Look, this was a film I was kind of interested in. I saw the trailer and it sparked my interest, and then I saw a couple of reviews of other YouTubers talking about this film, and I became really excited about it and really wanted to see it. And I was looking forward to it, and I was hoping it was able to be put onto my top 10, as I've got one more space left and looking for another film to fill that. Look, I enjoyed the film. It just didn't suck me in as much as I expected. It was a very interesting film. It was well done. Keira Knightley, Dominic West and Fiona Shaw are all fantastic. It's the best I've seen Keira Knightley in quite a while, and she really became this character, and it was a character we could really get behind. She was sort of, to begin with in the film, a sort of fish out of water, but then she found a place, she found a footing, and she worked out who she was and her abilities and what she wanted to do with her life, and was able to step out of the shadow of her husband and forge a career for herself. What I really liked about her character is she was always who she was, I guess, but she became more confident in that. She never really fit in, and she wasn't part of this sort of hoity-toity sort of Paris world in the late 1800s. She really was different to that and was able to pave a way because of that. I like the fact it was set in the 1850s and it looked at Paris at that time, and the things that were going on there and the type of people that were existing and the creativity and the artistry that was going on at the time too was very interesting to watch. I think they really captured that essence of that world and also of the character. And Dominic West is solid in this. He plays a character he's kind of a bit arrogant and he's a bit hard to connect to. And he ultimately uses his wife, Colette, quite a bit in order to accomplish what he wants to do. And when she's able to break free of that, it becomes a much more interesting film, I think. It's well written, it was well shot, it's beautifully shot. And I don't doubt this will be nominated for something at the Oscars as well. And there's a lot of things to like here. I was very engaged in the story and I liked what I saw, and I really went on the journey with these characters. And I found it quite a powerful film about a strong female trying to find a way in a man's world ultimately. And it's a very good film, and it's a great film to come out at this particular time with everything going on in the world. Now, there are things I didn't quite like about the film, but overall I enjoyed myself. The things I didn't quite like is it's a French film. It's set in France, in Paris, but everybody speaks English. There's not an accent inside. It just feels like we're just seeing this world. It's a pet peeve of mine to not be able to at least do an accent if you're going to be set in a particular world rather than everybody speaking English. I know they do this in order to make American films and English films that way so we understand them without having to have subtitles. But I just feel they could have really been able to speak with at least with an accent and even just a little bit of French. The other thing I didn't quite like or get attached to was it jumped forward in time quite a bit. It jumped from different things, from her a young girl to being married to being older to being a writer. It just sort of skipped through, and most of these bio films really do that because they've got to tell a particular part that happened in a particular time quickly in order to get to the meat of the story. I just felt it jumped a bit quick between these sort of times. We only got a little bit of a sense of them, just enough to understand what was happening, but I just felt they could have spent a bit more time with particular scenes and told a little bit more of the story before they jumped to the next section and next time period. I just didn't enjoy it. I wasn't as engaged as I thought I would be, but I still think it's a very solid film and I did enjoy myself with it. And it's definitely a film that's different and deals with particular interesting issues. It deals with female empowerment. It deals with transgender characters, it deals with sexuality, and a variety of other things. And Colette trying to find out who she truly is and accept the parts of her that she struggles with and just become who she is. Final verdict. Look, if you like Kiera Knightley, if you like something's a bit different, if you like a film with a really good story, telling a story about a strong woman becoming who she is, you may thoroughly enjoy this as well. I think it'll definitely find an audience. I'm not sure if everyone will go and see it, but the people who do go and see it, I think you will enjoy. There is a lot to enjoy with this film, and I did enjoy myself, and I am fond of it, and I thought it was very well done. I'm going to give Colette 4 out of 5. I enjoyed myself. I think it could have been a little better in parts, and like I said, there was a couple of criticisms I had, but overall I enjoyed myself, and I thought it was a very well made film, thought-provoking, a very great story, an interesting character, an interesting world we're able to be involved in and see. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, and any other videos on my channel, please subscribe down the bottom, and also visit my Facebook page, which is Film Guru as well. Anyway, until next time, enjoy the movies.